Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden. Today we're out in our garden. We're looking at our false dracaenas or cordyline plants, and we're out in our front yard and we've got them in our backyard too. So we're gonna do care of them today.
We have cordylines everywhere. They're such a cool, versatile plant. They look so tropical, so it's kind of fun, and we're excited to show you. You've probably seen them before if you've seen some of our videos, but we have some huge ones in the front yard in containers.
Yep, they get pretty big.
Yeah.
And they start out small, and we're gonna show you what those look like when they start out in our backyard.
Yeah.
But first, the big ones. So guys, here we are. We're out in our front yard. This is one of our cordylines, one of our false dracaenas. You can see it's gotten really big.
I know, it's
It is huge.
massive.
It started out as a tiny little plant, maybe about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet tall, and it grows from its center, right? You can see it grows from its center. It starts out like as a rosette type of growth, and then over time, it literally grows straight up, and it actually makes its own stem, its own like trunk. And this will get actually really big. These can be trees if you let them grow that big and you're able to keep them healthy. They're great plants to have either in a container or out in the backyard like we're gonna show you later. And they're easy to care for. They're super easy.
Yeah, if I remember right, Sean, didn't this one come in another, it came in like an arrangement from, I think, Home Depot. Like we got this little like flower arrangement.
Yep.
And
same with that one over there.
yeah, we have one right over there too. We'll show you in just a minute. And I mean, look at this, you guys. It looks like a mini palm tree from this angle.
Yep, it resembles actually a palm tree
It
down at
does.
the
I
base.
love it.
And I mean, I can put my hand around it, and it's so big now, I can't even touch my fingers around it.
So cool.
So, I mean, it's big.
So we have various care to do on all the cordylines around our property. So what do we need to do for this?
What we need to do with this one is we need to cut away these older actual leaves down here, because you can see they're yellowing a little bit. They're doing a little bit of dieback. These are the older leaves. The newer leaves up top, they're nice and healthy. They don't look anything like these. And so we want to promote the new growth. We want to trim this away. Once we trim these away too, it'll take all the resources. Instead of putting all the resources and nutrients into these leaves, it'll put them up into the newer leaves and help the plant grow even more. So it's just a win-win for everybody. The plant stays healthy and it looks better for us, and we get to enjoy it more.
I like that. And another thing, you guys, if you maybe like, was it last summer, I believe, we transplanted this whole cordyline out of an older, smaller container into this taller, newer one.
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember, but it is probably doubled in size.
It was maybe like this tall.
Yeah.
Last year, maybe. And so now this year, yeah, it's gotten huge.
We're loving it. So if you have a cordyline that maybe looks like it's stunted in growth a little bit, try transplanting it and you will probably see similar to what we're seeing, as long as it's in the right conditions.
Yeah, we had to really root prune this one and the other one to get them out of the old pots, even get them out of the old pots, and then get them into these new pots. We had to trim away probably a good third of their roots because they were just circling, and they were huge. They were bigger, they're round than my finger.
You know what? We'll link that video down below. So maybe
totally.
we'll put it up top too, if you see there on the screen. So if you want to check that next.
Totally, that's awesome. So guys, what we're going to use today out here in the front to care for these false dracaenas, these cordylines, are our Corona hand pruners, our Bypass Classic cuts. We've got the 1-inch size and we've got the 3/4 inch size. So we're just going to use these out here to do what we need to do, and then that's it. That's all that's needed on these guys. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand pruners and I'm going to come back inside close to the trunk, and you can see we've already cut some back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hand pruners, I'm going to get them as close as I can to the trunk here without getting right up next to it, because if you leave a little bit of this, that's okay. A little bit of the old leaves is fine. And so then I'm just going to cut, and it just cuts straight through, and that's it. And you can see here, look how thick those get. Those get so thick. Isn't that crazy? And this is one leaf. So we'll just make a pile of them and then we'll dispose of them later. I mean, for my goal, in my mind on this, this plant, I'm probably going to go up to about here from coming up from the bottom, because all of these leaves are just starting to yellow, they're older. And again, we want to get all the nutrients and all the water and air and everything up to these newer leaves up here, so it just keeps looking vibrant and beautiful.
Sounds like a good plan.
So I'm just going to get in here and do it.
Plus, we've got a lot of plants around the perimeter too that'll open up a little sunlight for them. For the lavender, we've got some lavender right over here.
Oh yeah, totally. This will really open it up around there. That lavender will love it. Whoop. There we go. There's some of those. Get in here. I think we really got it, guys. I think we got generally where we wanted to go to. I might take these two off because they're a little bit lower now than the rest of the leaves out here, but we can just go right up here, individually cut these out. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Maybe this one here and that one. There we go. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. I mean, it's always kind of a shock to see it right at first. Like, oh, it's not as full as it used to be, but it's totally growing and just expanding around the base too. So it's gonna just love this haircut, right?
Yep, it's really gonna thrive now. It's gonna really like this, so cool. Let's move on to the next one. So guys, we're still in the front yard. This is our other Falstersina out here. This one's a little different though.
It's so full.
Because it's actually got 3 different leaders on it coming off the base here. The other one only had 1 full stem or trunk coming up. This has 3. And what happened was it just split down below, and it's got 3 coming up now. So it's got 1 here, and then 1 right in here. And so we're gonna have to watch this and make sure that it doesn't get too full and too thick, because it can lead to other things like some fungal stuff, some pests with that dense growth. And so we might have to prune 1 or 2 of these leaders out. But we'll see what happens in the future.
Okay, good.
So today what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do like we did on the other Falstersina over there. We're gonna prune the older leaves off from the base and come up and just give it a little bit fresher look. That's about it. So guys, I think we're good. Allison likes it. I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on to the backyard, I think.
We decided to leave these leaves down kind of towards the bottom here because they look nice and just kind of drape over. So it has a nice look to it.
Yeah. And you know, with the multiple leaders, the leaves are going to be smaller. It's got a lot more resources going to a lot more areas. So yeah, the leaves are going to be smaller. They're still nice and green. But this plant is going to grow a little bit, well, actually a lot differently because of the 3 leaders, and it's going to stay a little bit smaller than the other one over there that was huge with the 1 leader. So something to consider, but it's fun for us because we have 2 of the same plant, but they're 2 completely different looking plants.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
And we're gonna go in the backyard now and show you the cordylines that we have in the ground and how different those look compared to these.
Totally.
Okay, you guys, we're in the backyard and we want to show you our cordylines that we planted about a year ago, right? It was about the end of March last year.
Almost a year. Yep, we got the one
Look
over.
at these, you guys. Oh, we
that
just...
one, this one.
So this is another type of Falstersina. This is a Cordyline australis can. And you can see we planted them right in the ground and they're surrounded by mulch, probably at least 4 inches of mulch. So being that these are still pretty immature, they're less than a year old, you can see they look a lot different than the ones in the front yard, right? We were a little concerned a couple times this past winter about freezing temperatures because technically they're called a temperennial, which means that they might not be all the way hardy to our zone 8B. They have a different color, obviously. If you get in here and look, these new leaves that come up have this gorgeous kind of hot pink, almost reddish colored kind of variegated leaf. As they age, they turn into this lighter color with this creamier kind of variegation. So it's obvious to kind of look here and see, oh, the older leaves obviously are all around the bottom. So we need to prune these. These are pretty hammered right now. So I have 2 things that I need to do with these cordylines in the backyard, in the ground. I need to move some mulch away from the base because we had them pretty heavily mulched over the winter for protection. So I'm gonna move the mulch away about 2 inches from the base of each plant. And I'm also gonna prune up the bottom and get rid of some of the old leaves like Sean did in the front yard.
Wow, guys, look at that. Don't they look so much better?
I know they do.
Allison did such a great job.
Yeah, you guys, we've got them all prepped for spring and for more growth. They're going to be really happy.
Yep, so that's taken care of. Now we can move on to the next garden task.
Which is cutting back all these grasses. That's coming up soon.
Yep. So guys, you might be asking yourselves, why did we make the cuts the way we made them? Why didn't we go all the way back to the stem? And the reason for that is because if we go back all the way to the stem and we cut flush up to the stem or try to just rip those leaves off one by one, we can damage the plant and open it up to a lot more stress and disease and pests. We don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
What we want to do is create more of a natural dieback on that leaf where it comes off the stem. So to do that, we cut it back to the way we did it, and then it'll die right then and there. That tissue will die back to the stem, and then later we can come back and take it off. And we can show you an update to that a little bit later on.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So with that, leave your comments and questions down below for us. We love hearing from you. Give us that thumbs up, let us know we're doing a good job, and subscribe to our channel so you get updates on our latest videos.
Yeah, that's a wrap, you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with our next garden care video, and we'll be announcing our next giveaway for this next week for our March Madness month of garden giveaways. And the winners from last week's contest will be announced by tomorrow. So have a great day, you guys. We'll
Have
see
a
you
great
tomorrow.
day.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.